What's up? So today we're going to be doing my first review of a TV show. We've got a new TV show coming out on Zeus. I kind of tipped y'all off on what I was looking for and what possibly could be coming from this channel, because I want to do some, I really want to do some TV show reviews. I watch a lot of shows and I feel like my commentary, I like to tweet a lot on Twitter when I watch shows or watch certain events, TV shows, events, basketball games, sporting events, any of that. And I was like, why not just record myself and do it? So the first thing I'm gonna do is react to review Baddies ATL on Zeus. So the first episode just premiered and this is gonna be my review. Introductions of the girls is 7 bad girls that were once on the show, and then we've got a new girl, Sydney Starr, who was not on the bad girl show. She's claiming she was a replacement on the show, but that's her business. That's what she claims, and that's what she's gonna run with. So we'll take it as for what it is. But the first person we meet is Natalie. Natalie's talking about how she's the baddest bad girl of all time. She's the hottest reality star that you've ever seen, just being Natalie. You don't even have to have watched Bad Girls Club to know who Natalie Nunn is. She's entertainment. She's truly entertaining. Whether you like it or not, whether you like her or not, whatever she's doing, you're engaged, you're watching it. And if she's stirring the pot, she's stirring the pot, she's doing her job. And that's just what it comes down to. A lot of people don't like Natalie because she stirs the pot, but that's just Natalie. Natalie is doing what she knows is gonna make her money, and that's being a reality star. Next, we get Sarah Oliver. She is the white girl. She's from Atlanta. They're in Atlanta. She's in her home city. So she's excited. She's just talking about what she's been going through in life, how she's kind of a socialite in Atlanta. She knows everybody in Atlanta. Next person we meet is Judy. Judy is one of my favorites. Judy's just funny. Judy does not take herself seriously. Judy used to walk around with voodoo dolls. She used to be drunk all the time, and that's just Judy. Judy is entertaining as fuck. If you've watched her season, or you just watch Judy on any other reality show, you just know that girl is going to have you in there rolling, and she already is. Judy is just funny. You just naturally watch her and just want to continue to watch what she's doing all day and what's going through her brain. Next, we've got Seven. Seven is drop dead beautiful. Seven, you see Seven, you just know, like, this girl is pretty, but you look at her and you can tell she gets down, she throw down. And if you know who Seven is, you know Seven is not one that is afraid to throw a punch, and she's not one afraid to end it. So Seven is chill, she does her own thing. Seven's just Seven. Seven's the laid back girl. She's always sitting back laughing, but don't try her, because if you try her, it's gonna be a problem. Next we have Christina. Christina is what most of the fans of the show consider one of the fan favorites. She was known for just beating bitches' asses and taking names and going on about their business. Like, Christina is funny. Christina is crazy. Christina gets wild. She's like what Seven is. Yeah, she's what Seven is. Because both of them two, they both fight. They're both pretty, but they're both kind of like to themselves. Like, whenever they to themselves, they're to themselves. But when you piss them off, it's like completely different person. Christina's just gonna be here. She's probably gonna deliver a show that we know that she's gonna deliver. So I'm excited to see her back, because this is her first show, I believe. Yeah, this is Christina's first show back. Next we've got Janelle. Janelle, she is funny as well. She's like Judy. She's just the comedy of the show. If you watch Janelle on X on the Beach, you know Janelle is just, she's exciting. She'll fight, she'll throw down. And then we've got Sydney Starr. Sydney Starr, she is not a bad girl. She's the only girl that's not a bad girl. She is the transgender diva, as she says. But she's the first trans baddie. Bad girls. They're calling it Baddies, but in a way, this is like the Bad Girls reboot. But she said herself that she was the replacement on one of the seasons, and have her tell you she is a bad girl, even though we never saw her on that show. She's telling you she is a bad girl. That is her business. That's what she wants to say. Whatever, that is her business. I can already tell she's gonna be extra. She's gonna be doing the most for the camera. She's excited to just be in the presence with those girls, just to say she is one of them. And I can already tell she's just gonna be doing everything she knows that's gonna get her on the camera. She's gonna be starting shit. And last but not least, we have Tanisha. Tanisha is what if you think of Bad Girls Club, you think of Tanisha. The pots in the pans, just banging it. I ain't getting no sleep because of y'all. Y'all ain't getting no sleep because of me. You know who that is. Tanisha's back. Tanisha used to host the show. And if I'm not mistaken, this might be Tanisha's first time back on reality show. No, she did Marriage Boot Camp. But this is like her first time back on the reality show as a cast member, not the host of the show. So I'm excited to see her back. Now we're gonna get into it. So Natalie's the first person to walk into the house. Natalie comes in first, and she's basically the one that's gonna be handing out the room assignments. And she's gonna be the one telling everybody where they're gonna be sleeping. So she gets into the house and she calls Sarah, because Sarah lives in Atlanta. She wants Sarah to come in there first. They're on the phone. Sarah's talking about, or Natalie's talking about how so-and-so's not here. Janelle's not here yet because Janelle's in a snowstorm. 7 is in Hawaii. Tanisha's not going to be living in the house. Yada, yada, yada. Sarah's like, what does that have to do with me? Why are you calling me, telling me this? Which is funny because it's like, yeah, like, why? I don't care at this point. But Natalie just being Natalie. She's stirring the pot already before the girls even get in the house. She's already stirring that pot. Sarah and Judy get to the house together. Judy comes into the house with a broom, bruh. Like, Judy is Judy. Judy is just great TV. She's good to watch. She brings a broom to the house, and she's talking about how the house is haunted, just looking at it, spooked out. And so Natalie takes Sarah and Judy upstairs into the house and takes them to their rooms. Sarah gets her own room for whatever reason that is. Of course, Natalie's gonna give who she's cool with their own room. Judy is now in a room where she's sharing a room. She tells Judy that she's gonna be sharing a room with Sydney. Sydney and Judy don't get along, apparently. They used to be friends, but Judy is not feeling Sydney because Sydney talks some shit on camera and acts a certain way on camera, and then whenever the camera's not rolling, she's trying to be best friends with her. She don't fuck with that. And I'm not one that, I couldn't deal with that either, truthfully. Like, if you're gonna be one way with me, just be one way with me the whole time. If you don't like me on camera, don't like me off camera. And I understand where she's coming from. And Judy said, you got me sharing a room with a Vienna sausage. You know it's foul and out of line, but it's funny as fuck. So next to walk in is 7. 7 comes into the house. 7's just chill, cool. She walks in. Natalie's excited to see her. Natalie likes 7. You can tell Natalie just likes 7 because she knows 7's just popping. 7's just who she is. She just comes into the house. She walks in. She's beautiful. And she knows 7 can fight. Natalie knows who to pick them fights with. Even though she's not scared of nobody, but Natalie knows who to pick them fights with. 7 walks into the house. She asks Natalie about Tanisha and if Tanisha's gonna be living in the house. And Natalie tells 7 that Tanisha is not gonna be living in the house. So 7 immediately is thinking like, I wanna go see Tanisha. After Natalie shows 7 her room, 7 then goes to Tanisha's house. Tanisha and 7 meet up, and Tanisha's pretty much telling 7 like, me and Natalie got all this beef. I'm not living in the house with her. I'm not living in the house with Sarah. I'm not living in the house with them. So 7 is basically like sitting in there soaking it in like, okay, so I'm just gonna try and play the mediator and get y'all to be cool, but we got this photo shoot that's later on. So the next scene, we have the girls at the photo shoot. It's all the girls except for Janelle. And in this scene, you have the girls getting ready. It's Natalie, Sarah, Judy, Sydney, and Christina in the room. 7 is still getting her makeup done. Hold up. Damn, bro. 7's still getting her makeup done. So they're doing this toast, and everybody seeming like they're in a good mood and good spirits. And then Sydney just doing what I said she was gonna do, just she's trying to make this her moment. She's doing her best to literally make herself have a bad girl's experience. She wants to have that compilation on YouTube where people reacting to her best moments. That's what she wants. And the girls are noticing that. So she starts coming at Judy, talking shit to Judy. And Judy's just sitting there smoking her hookah pen and blowing it in that girl's face, and she starts screaming. So Sydney starts hollering, saying that you did some dirty ass to me back in the day. You the reason why I'm not on Bad Girls Club. I was the replacement for season 9. Yada 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 yada. All the while Judy is sitting there smoking her smoking her hookah pen, just sitting there laughing like it's funny. It's comedy at this point because it's like she knows what we can see. You're literally putting on for cameras. Like, you just want these scenes so you can go put them on your YouTube or go put them on your Instagram and say, look at me, I'm doing this, I'm doing that. Natalie's trying to be the bigger person, jumping in, trying to stop them, because then Judy goes calling her a man and stuff. And what Sydney kind of points out is that she claims that Judy is the reason why she's not on the show because she went to production and told production that she was a man. But Sydney is just, she's going off and calling her all types of bitches and just doing the most, getting up in her face, getting aggressive, start pointing in her face like she gonna do something. And Sarah says in one of her confessionals that like, you clearly are just trying to be us. You're trying to be on the show because she's been a fan of the show. She's just being a fan. She's like, she's producing, she's acting like a fan. She's literally doing fan type shit. She knows where the cameras are. She's looking and she's in the face, da 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 da. And Judy and all of them other girls are just looking at her like, look, you're literally clowning yourself. Then Seven comes running in. And Seven comes running in. She's like, what the f going on? And she's trying to calm it down, but Seven's just being Seven. I feel like Seven for the rest of this show, Seven is gonna be us in that house. She's laughing the whole time this is going on. At that point, they're all still trying to go, and she's still going back and forth with Judy, and Judy's just laughing the whole time. It's going nowhere because she's trying to get a rise out of Judy. Judy's not giving it to her. Natalie's trying to stop it. Now that Tanisha walks down the stairs and Natalie sees Tanisha, and it's Natalie and Christina walking up to Tanisha. Natalie and Tanisha are kind of doing this like, they're kind of poking at each other like, I see you, I'm waiting to see if you're going to do something first. But it seems like they're just playing with each other. And in a way, it kind of makes people think, okay, is this real? Is it not real? Because they both are like kind of trying to talk shit, but from a distance, and then trying to laugh it off like, hey, I see you, bitch. Hey, I see you. That's what they're doing. Christina said something about Tanisha unfollowing. I guess I'm following her on social media. I don't know. I don't know what that has anything to do with, but it was kind of like the two of them were coming up on her at one point. Tanisha was like, we got to talk later on, me, you, and Natalie. She's talking about her and Natalie. And then they kind of just drop it, and then they go into the photo shoot, and then they're starting to take those photos and stuff. And for the most part, all the girls look good. Seven's killing the rest of the girls, per usual. But they get to the point, and then Tanisha's in her confessional, and she's roasting them all. Tanisha is funny. Tanisha gonna be cracking us up in the confessionals. I guess they keep going in rounds in terms of who's taking what and when they're taking the pictures. And Sarah gets to Natalie and is upset because apparently she's the last one to go to take photos. And she's getting upset, saying she's last every single time. And then Seven pipes in and is like, well, you the one that said something about Black History Month. So I guess she said she's gonna go last because it's Black History Month. And the rest of the other girls are black. So she said she's gonna go last, and then she's flipping out, she's losing her mind over it. And they're like, dude, like Seven told her that she could go before her. I guess Sarah didn't take it. So Sarah's upset because she's last to go in the photos. They finally start to let Sarah take her photos and trying to take her photos, but Natalie and Tanisha called Janelle, who was not there yet. They call her on FaceTime, and I guess Sarah's upset because I guess they were cheering on every other girl that went and took their photos. She wasn't getting no cheers, she wasn't getting no attention, so that was frustrating her, and Natalie and Tanisha are noticeably ignoring her while they're talking to Janelle on the phone, and that's pissing Sarah off. So they keep acting like kids at this point, going back and forth with her. Natalie's on the phone, and she looks over, and she's on the phone, and she looks over. And then finally, Sarah gets to the point where Sarah's so upset, Natalie notices it and just hangs up the phone. And then they're basically like, okay, then go ahead and take your photos. And then she goes and takes her photos, and Natalie and Tanisha called Janelle back, and they're still talking to Janelle. Sarah's over there taking her photos, and Tanisha's talking shit, saying like she bends over. She thought she didn't have no panties on at one point. Tanisha just being Tanisha, just being funny in the confessionals. And her and Natalie are just literally talking to Janelle the whole time, not paying her no attention. I guess nobody else was cheering, and nobody was cheering. I don't know how it was going on, but why does it even matter if somebody's cheering you on when you're taking photos? Like, just take the photos and go on about your business. But Natalie and Tanisha ended up talking to Janelle the whole time, and I guess Sarah caught wind of it. She was upset, screaming, I'm trying to take my photos, I'm trying to take my photos. And it's petty and it's stupid and it's childish, especially for those three. They're the three oldest of the girls, and Sarah's the oldest. Like, you get mad because they're not cheering you on for taking photos. I mean, whatever. I mean, so then they get in and take the group picture, and Sarah's sitting there bitching again because she's on the end of the photo, claiming that she shouldn't be on the end of the photo. Why is Sarah on the end of the photo? Why does it matter? Like, it's just a photo. But whatever. I mean, that's just reality TV for you. So the next scene that we get is Natalie and Tanisha after they wrap the photo shoot. So they finally get to each other and they start talking and saying, okay, so what are we doing? And they keep saying, well, I'm not gonna hold you, I'm not gonna hold you, I'm not gonna hold you. So they're going back and forth saying that each other was talking shit. Natalie was talking shit about Tanisha, Tanisha was talking shit about Natalie. Natalie's pissed because Tanisha was doing Instagram lives with the bad girls that Natalie don't fuck with. And Natalie feels a type of way about that because they were close. Tanisha feels a type of way because Natalie was online talking shit about her and her family. And then Natalie says Tanisha was talking shit about her and her family. And they screaming at this point. They're just yelling at each other in each other's face, cussing each other out. They in their confessionals talking shit. And you kind of look at it, and in the moment, they do seem like they might be genuinely upset and might be kind of pissed off in the moment, but these two are top-notch reality stars, so it's hard to really understand, or it's hard to really believe if it is in fact real. All this anger is in fact real, but I mean, I'm just gonna take it for what it is right now in this moment in time on this show when they're filming. It looks like it might have been real because I mean, I watched the build-up when it was happening, so I mean, it is what it is. They both were saying some slick shit about each other, so they both have reason to be upset. But it ends after they're screaming. Natalie's walking away. Well, Tanisha walks away, and then Natalie walks away. And as Natalie's walking away, she's upset. She's crying. Or at least she's trying to hold herself together at one point. But then she goes back in the back room telling the people to get her coats, get all her shit. She can go because she's done for the day. She gets back there, and then she starts holding her eyes, and then she's doing this. And then she starts crying. And at one point, I'm like, I don't even see a tear falling from your eye. Like, because I've never seen, now that I think about it, I've never seen Natalie cry on reality TV. And she's done plenty of shows. I don't think I've ever seen her cry on TV until this moment. She was crying. She said she was trying to be nice. I did see a couple tears fall away from her face whenever she was walking away. But she said she was hurt and she was trying to be nice and she's trying to make this money happen, and that's why she was mad with Tanisha, because she's like, they had two separate ideas of what they wanted to do with the show. Tanisha wanted to make it more of a good girls type of deal. Natalie just wanted to be authentic bad girls. She just wanted to bring them all together and let them just do what they do. And I guess when they couldn't get on the same page, that's when the drama started, but whatever. She was crying, she was upset, then she runs back out to the girls. Natalie is with the girls, and as she's with the girls, she's basically unleashing all of her her energy that she just had with Tanisha onto the girls. Sarah pipes in saying that Tanisha was doing this bullshit for her too, and da-da-da-da. It's like Sarah's no longer mad at Natalie. Whatever. But, so as Natalie's talking about the beef and the drama with Tanisha, Christina brings up very valid points in that confessional, saying like, y'all were talking all this shit and beefing all before the filming on Instagram Live, calling each other all types of bitches and just going off. But when y'all get here, it's kind of like, oh, we're friends and yada, yada, yada. And Natalie's explaining like, me and Tanisha have this decade-long friendship that goes beyond any of y'all, which is understood. But like Christina's saying, like all that shit, y'all was talking cash money shit about each other the entire time leading up to the show. But then you get on here and it's like, y'all was talking cash money shit about each other the whole time. Talking about when you see each other, it's on site, it's on site. But then when y'all get here, y'all, bitch, I know what you're doing, I know what you're doing, I know what you... Christina's like, what's going on? Like, it's fake. It's fake to her, just like it's kind of coming off fake to everybody else who's watching the show. But Natalie's saying, like, if she don't get her together, she gonna beat her ass. And then Sydney's sitting there piping in, talking about she started this shit, and she's basically the kicker off for her and Judy shit started Tanisha. And no, it didn't. You didn't have nothing to do with why they did what they did. You just want to make it seem that way because you want to seem like you are that bad girl that you died so hard to be. No. You started your mess. They had their mess. But Natalie and Tanisha don't need to do something after you did it. Because Natalie and Tanisha are the two girls. When you hear Bad Girls Club, those are the two girls that you think of. But I mean, Natalie gets to the point where she tells Christina, like, I'll beat her ass if she don't get her shit together. And then she storms off. So the next scene is the next day. So Natalie comes up to Sarah and they're basically, you can tell they've been starting their makeup. Natalie looks like she kind of started on hers. Sarah looked like she might have already been touched up. But they're basically just rehashing the photo shoot that happened the day before. So they're basically talking about how Tanisha was basically being different and just basically being kind of fake in a way. Natalie saying she would talk about her shit and then be smiling, and then when they take the photo shoot, she's telling Natalie not to touch her and like, oh, don't touch me, and then she's trying to be nice again and then telling her don't touch her. Just a little tit for tat stupid shit they've been doing the whole time. And then Sarah saying like Tanisha had reached out to her trying to be cool. Apparently her and Tanisha have had beef, but Tanisha's trying to be cool with Sarah. Natalie's coming to the conclusion that she was wanting the girls to be against Natalie. So that's Natalie's perception. Sarah seems to agree with it in the moment. And then start talking about Sydney and Judy, about how they were cool, how they used to be in Chicago all the time together, every single day they spent together, yada, 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 all that back and forth stuff. And saying how they couldn't get Sydney on the shoot. They couldn't even get her on set to do the shoot, da, 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 da. And Natalie saying that everybody's being divas and stuff. And she's saying if anybody has the right to be a diva, it should be her. And she's not even being a diva. Natalie has this perception of herself as if she is like Beyonce. Natalie, you are a celebrity in your own right, but you are not a diva. Like, you are not Mariah Carey, you are not Nicki Minaj, you are not Rihanna, you are not any of those girls. But in the reality world, I give her props. She's definitely one of those reality stars that you look at, you don't even have to look at, you hear her name and you know exactly who she is. But she's basically saying like the girls got to get it together. She's got a makeup crew that's coming to do her makeup and her makeup only. And she made it a point to tell Sarah that like they're coming to do my makeup. And Sarah picked up on that. She said in her confessional, I find it kind of interesting that you're bringing just a makeup crew just for you. It's Janelle. Janelle is finally here. Janelle comes in and she is noticeably pissed off. And she's noticeably underdressed. Janelle comes in a t-shirt and some of them little thigh-high, what do you call them things? Them little compression shorts. Or what y'all call legging shorts. And she's pissed because she came a whole day late, and then I guess she had some complications with her flight. She didn't have her luggage at all. Like, she couldn't come in there and just walk in there like she's that bad girl. She was pissed about that. Natalie noticed that as well. Natalie comes in and kind of tries to cheer her up, ask her how she likes the house and stuff. And Janelle's like, yeah, the house is nice, but I'm pissed off because I ain't got my shit. Like, Janelle's not trying to talk about the house. She's trying to figure out where the my shit is. So Natalie tells her like she's got her makeup crew with her. She's got her little glam squad here. She's not letting the rest of the other girls use them, but she'll let her use them just because Janelle ain't got none right now. Janelle is pissed off because all her shit is gone, or it's not here yet. So she takes Janelle upstairs, shows Janelle her room, and basically tells Janelle who all is here. She tells her all the girls are here, and then she gets down to Sydney. And Janelle's like, who is Sydney? Because she said all the bad girls are here. Janelle goes, who is Sydney? Basically thinking the same thing everybody else is thinking. Sydney ain't no bad girl. What bad girl named Sydney? And she tells her, and Natalie starts laughing, and she's like, you gonna be on my head about this, just like everybody else is on my head about it. And basically Janelle in her confessional is saying exactly what we all think. Like, Sydney is online talking shit, being theatrical, being extra, doing the most, sounding rehearsed. That's the first thing she said, that she sounded rehearsed, and that was the best. I was trying to figure out the best way to describe her, but that is it. It wasn't coming to my head, but when she said it, it was like, yes, that's what I was thinking. She does sound rehearsed. It's like you can tell she's watched all these seasons of these girls, and she's watched their best moments, and she's watched what the fans like to see from these girls, and she's doing it. Like, she's probably stood in that mirror and rehearsed these lines, but the moment that she got in this house, she can put it on for them cameras, and that's what she's doing. Janelle is not here for it. So I can already tell Janelle and Sydney are going to have some issues. And Natalie knows it as well. She tells Janelle to go ahead and get ready. She's going to go ahead and get her makeup crew together so they can go ahead and get Janelle fixed up. So that's where we're at. All right, now we done got turned up. Now, the next scene is Natalie. Natalie is in the room with Janelle, with her makeup team, and they're doing Janelle's makeup. And I guess the girls had already caught wind that Natalie was only going to get her makeup done by her makeup team. So I guess with Janelle having the makeup team doing her, Christina had saw that and asked for a touch-up. Apparently, the makeup artist, this is according to Natalie and the makeup artist, they had agreed that they would help her out and basically asked for them to, for Christina to pay him $250. Apparently, that's the fee that he's charging. And he claims that he had chased Christina around trying to get her to pay, and he claims that she did not pay. Christina then is talking to a producer, basically saying like, Natalie needs the makeup. Like, she needs it because she's ugly, and I don't need it because I'm naturally beautiful. But I just asked for a touch-up, da-da-da-da. She's going off, and as she's going off, Natalie's in the other room with Janelle and the makeup team, basically going off about her, basically telling them that she ain't got $250 to pay him. He asked for the money, and she ain't got the money to pay for him. Now, question, I'm not too sure about how this goes. Like with me, when I get my hair cut and stuff, I pay after the cut is done. Now, ladies, do y'all pay the makeup artist prior to getting your makeup done, or do you pay afterwards? I'm not sure how that goes, but maybe in this moment in time, Christina didn't pay until after the makeup was done, and apparently clearly the makeup wasn't done. That's why she's pissed. But Christina hears her in there arguing, and she goes in there, who the f*** you talking about, bitch? And then she gets up in there, and she's in Natalie's face going off. She's in that makeup artist's face going off as well, and he's going back and forth with her, telling her that she didn't pay and he had to chase her down, and she's swearing up and down that she had paid. Natalie is basically, the energy that she had in the moment was no longer there. She kind of backed off a little bit, but Natalie got a little riled up after the fact. The producers, everybody, the bouncers are around them trying to keep them from fighting. Christina's pissed off, saying like, stop trying to play me like I wouldn't pay for you to do my makeup. And Natalie's saying she ain't pay. The makeup artist saying she ain't pay. Christina is saying she paid. And Janelle's just sitting, Janelle's funny. Janelle's sitting there in the middle of she's sitting in the chair trying to get her makeup done, and she's sitting there looking like, damn, what the fuck is going on? Can I get my face done? But it was funny because it's just like she's sitting there watching it while they're literally losing their fucking minds. But it's a whole bunch of nothing, and then I guess the makeup artist started to get a little rah-rah with Christina. And Christina's like, you a punk ass bitch, like he ain't even a dude, like he a bitch, cause he's sitting here acting like a bitch. And basically, I mean, she was on to some shit, like he was doing a lot, but if he was in fact doing her makeup and she didn't pay, he has a reason to be upset. But it looks like in the moment, he didn't even do her makeup, and that's why she's mad. But I don't know, you can't really tell because it wasn't chopped. It was just chopped up. It wasn't really, we didn't see the moment that happened prior, we just see the after of what had gone down. We didn't get to see him chasing her down. So it's just hearsay at this point, but Christina's pissed off, Natalie's pissed off, the makeup artist is pissed off, and we're trying to figure out what's going on. And then we got Seven, my girl Seven. Seven is funny. Seven's in the other room, and Seven hears them arguing, and she's like, oh, I hear them arguing. But these bitches ain't about to fight. I ain't about to waste my time running down there trying to see. Seven's funny because Seven was like, if they gonna fight, I'm gonna be there to watch. But they ain't gonna fight. Like, why? Like, what am I gonna do? Seven gets in there with Christina and is basically telling Christina, like, look, I got all this makeup. If you want to use some, it's whatever's mine is yours. Like, you can use it. Seven's just like, whatever. Christina is basically telling Seven, like, the makeup artist is full of shit. So then the next scene shows Natalie and Sarah basically rehashing it. And apparently this is where it kind of makes sense. Natalie said that she, the makeup artist knows that when she gets out of the chair, she's gonna pay. So that answers the question that I had. So I guess y'all pay after the fact. She said the makeup artist knows that once she gets out of that chair, she's gonna cash out him the money. Apparently this situation, the reason why Natalie and the makeup artist don't want to do Christina's makeup is because this was the day before at the photo shoot. That I guess they did her makeup and literally had to chase her down 7-8 hours to get the money for doing the makeup. Cause I was confused at first, cause I'm like, see, like these little hoes, they got to get better with editing this. The production is great and stuff, like everything is clear. Green screens look good, everything else looks good. It's just like the production. Get this together, like stop chopping out the scenes. But I don't know if they were even filming at that point. They might not have been, but that bit of information would have been needed. But I mean, they cleared it up. But yeah, so if they're basically saying that Christina didn't pay, so that's why the man didn't want to touch her shit that day. So yeah, that's where we at this point. And Natalie's like, yeah, I'm about to go in here and confront her because I'm sick of this shit. And Sarah's sitting there laughing like, okay, oh, here we go. So Natalie and Sarah are basically talking to the makeup artist, and the makeup artist, Natalie's basically confronting him, not confronting him, but just getting him to confirm on camera. She's like, did I not have you, did he have to consistently ask for his money multiple times the day before? And he said yes. She asked, did he provide her with the services and the amount of what the services would cost? And he's like, yeah. She's screaming, didn't I tell them and didn't you tell them that there is a fee with the service and it's $250 for that makeup? She said a full face, full beat. I think that's what she said. $250. And he's like, yes. And then she basically takes that to Christina and she walks over to her room with Sarah. And she's about to walk in the room, but then she decides to stop and knock. So she knocks before she goes in, and then Christina's sitting in there, and Christina's saying, like, basically, yeah, what's up? What you got to talk about? Natalie's like, yeah, I knock before I get in everybody's room. And then Christina's like, bruh, like, you don't knock in between everybody's room. You don't knock when you walk into everybody's room. This is just some sidebar shit. It don't even have nothing to do with what they're fighting for in the first place. But I guess just in the moment, anything that is said is going to trigger anybody. Oh, shit. Now they ain't here, get ready to get down. So then they're in each other's faces arguing and basically saying shit like, you don't knock on people's doors, you don't never do that. And Natalie's saying, like, in the bad girl's house, we never knocked on doors because there was no doors. So then they're getting mad and they're getting up in each other's faces, and Christina's like, calm down. Natalie's in her face pointing, and Christina's in her face pointing, and Sarah's just sitting there watching. And I'm like, okay, so who's gonna swing first? At this point, y'all up in each other's faces. We wouldn't be doing this anymore. Once you're right here, it's time to throw. And Christina's the first one, and she's, and then Natalie's, and then they both throwing hands. So I'm like, okay, yeah, this might be an even matchup. Because a lot of people like to give Natalie shit for her fights and say that she can't fight or whatever. I've never seen a fight that Natalie has done where Natalie has shown me that she can't fight. She might not have won all of her fights, but Natalie has, in her fights, she's done something. It's not like she got her ass beat in every one of her fights. I've yet to see her get her ass beat. She might not have won a lot of the fights that she was in, but she has not gotten her ass beat. But Christina, I have not seen a fight where Christina has ever lost. So this is going to be an interesting fight. It kind of ends on a cliffhanger. And basically, we gotta wait until next week to see what the f goes down. This is my first review, so I'm trying to get into it. I've started to each scene because I started watching. When I started watching, I was like, let me just go to like about 10 minutes in and try and recap it, and then just play it again each time, and then go back and stop and record. So I think I'm gonna just start doing each scene. As you might be able to tell, these scenes are gonna be kind of chopped up. Just to make it easier for me to kind of remember and stuff. But this is fun. I think it's fun to review a show. I'm just trying to get used to it, trying to get a rhythm going in terms of how I'm going to do it. But I think I might have figured it out halfway towards the end. After each scene, I'm going to stop it and then record, stop it and record. But yeah, tell me what you think. Tell me if you like what you're seeing. Tell me your thoughts on the episode. Let me know what you think if you are watching the show. Let me know your thoughts. Who do you think is going to win this fight next week? Who do you think is going to come out on top? We see Natalie's wig done came off again, so I know she pissed off about that because she just got that done. But I think it's an even matchup. I'm very excited to see the outcome and see what really goes down. But from what I can see leading into the cliffhanger for next week, both of them was throwing hands. So we'll see. But like I said, if you like this review, thumbs up, subscribe, please do that. Share it, please do that as well. And let me know what you think. If you want me to react to some more review. If you want me to review some more shows, just go ahead and comment that down below. I think I want to review some more shows. I got a couple that are coming up in the summer. I'm thinking about reviewing Big Brother, as well as Love Island and Survivor whenever that comes back. And then Power. I'm definitely going to review Power. Power Ghost 2. That's still filming currently, and I'm sure they're about to come back soon. But yeah, any other shows you want to hear me review and just tell you my thoughts and whatnot, we'll do it. But I'm trying to get better with this because I feel like it can be a lot more detailed, but it's hard to remember everything off the dome. I'm just gonna probably start writing stuff down, just little key points and just look at that. But whatever. This is the first video. Like I said, let me know what you think, and I will check with y'all next time.